Hello everyone, welcome back to a special holiday edition of Frag Chat with me, Smelly, and her,
Smithy.
So today we are in lovely Puerto Rico, which is in Gran Canaria. There are a few Puerto Ricos in the world. This is the one in Gran Canaria, which is one of the Canary Islands, which are part of Spain legally, but physically on the map they're closer to Africa than anything else. They're off the coast of Africa, so the climate really hot here in late September, stays warm year round, and it's a very, very nice place indeed.
Hence our tans as well.
We are rather bronzed, or perhaps a little bit overcooked maybe, but we've had a great time. So, and just in case anyone's interested, the hotel where we stayed, the Marina Bay View Hotel in Puerto Rico, Gran Canaria, was excellent. We were really surprised at how good it was, considering it wasn't massively expensive. Amazingly nice, clean place, lovely room, really nice pool. There's a jacuzzi on one level that you can use, fantastic view, and yeah, we were just really amazed at how good it was. So just because we liked it so much, we will put the link to that place in the description of this video. And there were two really good beaches within walking distance, and a nice range of different types of nights out that you could choose from, with lively bars or slightly more civilized restaurants and bars as well if you preferred, all within easy walking distance. Let's get into a special issue of Frag Chat where we're not going to introduce any new houses today, or we haven't really got any Fragcom gossip, but we're just going to talk about the fragrances we've enjoyed on holiday and what makes a good summer holiday fragrance. We're calling it a summer holiday, but we're a bit late. It's autumn, but for us it's still summer here. So anyway, let's get stuck into it. So Claire's got her selection that she brought, I've got mine. So first of all, Claire, if you tell us all the fragrances that you brought, and then we'll discuss your three favourites, or our three favourites.
Okay, sure. So this is by Montal, and it's Mucalat, and it's a nice little travel size. So it's super sweet, smells a little bit like childhood erasers, like doll's heads. It's just a very, very girly fragrance. Then I've got my Powder and Dust travel size there by SP Parfums. It is my number one favourite fragrance of all time. I think we've said enough about that.
We'll describe that in depth when we come back to do that. So what's that pink atomizer? That's one of your favourites, isn't it?
Yes, this holds a Guerlain fragrance. It's Le Plus Beau Jour de ma Vie. Another sweet floral orange blossom kind of fragrance.
One of your big favourites. Now, this one you love at the moment,
don't you?
It's quite
new, and it's Vanori by Sylvain Delacourte. Another sweet. It's a vanilla fragrance, and this one's got frangipani, which smells a little bit like suntan lotion. Just very, very nice.
Is that going to be in the top three? We'll find out in a moment. Two more decants I can see.
So this is a sample of Pink Patchouli by SP Parfums. And I don't actually know all the notes, but it's a little bit earthy, but still kind of sweet and floral at the same time. And this is a tiny little sample. You'll never be able to read the writing. It's Iris Draguez by Maison Lancôme, which is one of the high-end kind of privé line iris, and it's also supposed to smell a little bit like macaroons. Or no, it's not macaroons, it's sugared almonds, I think is what a Draguez is. So kind of sweet powdery concoction.
And you've just got a sample, you don't know
the
the
bottle. All I've got is a sample, yeah.
Alright, my stuff that I brought, and we'll find out what my top three are mutually agreed upon by us, is Dolce & Gabbana Pour Homme, the Eau de Toilette. It's the original Italian formula, made in Italy. Cedrat Boise by Mancera, so often compared to Aventus, without the smokiness, more fruity. 1725 by Histoire de Parfums, a barbershop scent with some licorice, almond and vanilla, so a sweet powdery version of the still sort of clean, fresh barbershop genre. Just have a think if you think that makes the top three. New York Intense by Nicolai, a real old school masculine scent similar to Bois de Portugal by Creed. So it has quite a lot of lavender, some spiciness and a bit of sweetness, but definitely a sort of 70s and 80s retro theme maybe going on there. So we'll see if Claire agrees to let that in my top three, or I'll mutually agree top three, and maybe it could be difficult for me to persuade her. Fico d'Amalfi, a staple for our summer holiday, figs and citrus. Let's just leave it at that, by Acqua di Parma. Boy from Chanel, which is a bit of a fougere, old school fragrance, but with a bit of sweetness to it as well, and a real nice niche one, or with a more expensive, exclusive Les Exclusives. Thank you, from Chanel, one of them, of which I only have a good sized decant, and Spice and Wood, which Claire so kindly gave me the gift of the full bottle, so I've decanted a bit more. Let's see, I think that one's an odds-on favourite to make it, so let's agree between us on your top three for the holiday. But before we do that, drink of the night.
Okay. drink of the night in a plastic cup.
We're classy. We're a classy operation
Stolen
here.
from the bar because the glasses provided are
They only give you these tiny beakers,
size
which are not so great.
in the apartment.
Yep.
So we got one of those for my vodka. Vodka and Diet Coke, of course.
Vodka and Diet Coke. And I am on something very naughty, and I haven't been drinking this all week, or I might not still be standing. And this is called Judas, provocatively titled. It's a strong Belgian ale, coming in at 8.5%, very similar to Duvel from the Duvel brewery in Belgium, one of those strong Belgian pale ales. Only €1.20 for a bottle. So any alcoholics, looking to sort of the best place to live.
No, we do not want to promote
We don't condone that. No, please drink responsibly. But I haven't been drinking that all week. That's not been my staple. But I saw last night here, so I thought I'd splurge a bit, not monetarily, but in my units of alcohol allowance per day. That's probably one bottle of that is it. Now, more importantly, 3 fragrances that we think were your best 3. Mainly, I'm going to let you say what you loved most, but I'll have some say, hopefully.
Alright, so my favourites that I've worn, and what I've worn the most will come as no surprise to anyone who watches anything I ever say or do, and it's Powder and Dust by SP Parfums.
SP Parfums Powder and Dust, and this is, I have to say, a bit odd smelling, but also really nice. But it smells very niche. There's a sort of solventy note to it.
Okay.
But now you know more about the notes than me.
Yeah, I think in the opening it probably does come off slightly weird, but I like it.
I do like it.
And in the dry down, that weirdness, I think it subsides, and it's a mimosa and pear fragrance mostly.
Yeah. What are some of the main notes? Mimosa
and pear.
I definitely get the pear dropped kind of smell.
Yeah, if you think about sweets, the pear drops, it's almost like you took a load of pear drops and you boiled them down and condensed them to get something even richer and more full.
Okay.
And mimosa, which I think is a flower.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know too much about it. I think there's iris and there's a touch of osmanthus in there.
Mm-hmm. And it is sort of powdery.
Yeah, but it's not as powdery as you might expect by the name.
Yeah, if you think it's going to smell powdery and dusty, which kind of are similar things.
No.
It's not the overwhelming thing.
It smells more like magic fairy dust.
Magic fairy dust. So it's a little bit sweet, floral, iris, maybe pear, mimosa, kind of magical, very strong and pungent, very strong.
It smells a little bit peppery to me in a really good way.
And quite niche, and not going to be to every. You don't go and blind buy a big bottle, the biggest size, but sample it. It's really, really interesting. And it was a collaboration between Sven Pritzkelet and Tom Elise from the Ayana from the Tom Elise channel.
Yes, so I've
your
worn
collab
that
fragrance coming?
Yeah.
Watch this space. We're working on it.
So I've worn that one 3 nights, I think.
Yeah, it's really. I do like that.
At least out of our 6.
I do like that. I think you like it ever so slightly more than me.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think it's a bit niche, so beware. But I do think it's got something special.
Yeah, I love it.
So we'll put that in your top 3.
Definitely. So I did wear quite a lot during the day, actually. Mucalat from Montal.
Mucalat by Montal.
But I'm not putting this in my top 3. It's actually got on my tits a little bit, if I'm completely honest.
More than I did over the holiday?
No, not that much, but it really was quite annoying.
Yeah.
And you said
it's really, really nice. I like it, but it's very unsophisticated, and it smells like a sort of bubble gum, or even a child's scented rubber or a razor that we used to have in England at school.
It's super sweet. The reason I brought it is purely because
it's the
only fragrance, or what is one of the only few fragrances that I've got that will last through a swim and sunbathing and another swim. And then, I mean, you were smelling it all day.
Yeah, if you want beast mode, Claire had just been in the pool, and you would think that would wash everything off. I mean, you'd been. Your whole body had been immersed, and as soon as you got out, I could smell it. So if you want beast mode performance, Mucalat. It's sort of a bubblegummy, sweet, scented eraser smell, and it is rather enjoyable.
It's very childish and synthetic, but
I kind of like it in a weird way. Yeah.
I just bought it because I knew it would perform for me in this weather. It's not one of my favourites. So
okay, so that's not in your top 3. Now we haven't got time. We're not going to mention every other one and review it. So you now have to give us a 2.
Right.
Sorry to be strict.
No, that's
but you
fine.
Have to. We now have to decide your top 2.
I just wanted to mention that because I think it deserved
You did wear it a lot on holiday.
Okay, so this one, Le Plus Beau Jour de ma Vie. No way is that not going in the top 3.
Galan's La Plus Beau Jour de ma Vie, which means the most beautiful day of my life, and it's meant to be based on a wedding in France where they use sugared almonds as a traditional thing that's at weddings.
You know when you go and there's a gift on the table for everybody?
Right.
What it's called, favour. It's a favour.
Oh, right. Right. I didn't think that's what a French favour meant. But anyway, moving.
Do you think a French letter?
Well, let's not. No, let's get back on track.
Cut.
A French. No, we don't cut it.
French favour.
It smells. I don't know what that means. So I saw some comic value must be in there, but it failed.
Could be wrong.
Yeah. Sugared almonds and Guerlain class. It's a really expensive high-end Guerlain.
Imagine the room is decorated with just a million orange blossoms, or there's perhaps orange groves. It's an outdoor wedding. Orange blossom, sugared almonds, and a little bit anaesthetic in the opening, but it doesn't last that long.
But right at the opposite spectrum of that being very unsophisticated, and that has a class.
It's probably as sweet as that.
Yeah.
However, much more development in this. It changes on your skin. It smells classy and sophisticated.
Yeah. But you pay for that.
You do.
It's very expensive.
Pay for it,
But I agree. Beautiful, great performance. Very elegant. Very probably most people consider it feminine, gourmandish.
Young,
beautiful
probably,
though.
For a Guerlain.
Young smelling, young and happy and
you
playful.
You might picture a sort of a young bride, like in her 20s or something.
Yes.
I still wear it,
and it suits you beautifully. It's really, really nice, and it performs really well. I really like that one.
Yeah.
So, what's your third or our third? Well, I'm supposed to be involved in these picks too.
Our third. Well, I'm hoping
you haven't asked me about this.
Hoping you'll agree with me.
You haven't consulted.
Well, actually,
you didn't bring tons, did you?
To be fair, I didn't wear the Iris Dragaze. I might even just. There's not much there. I might even just do my wrist with it tonight and a spray of something else up here. So that's kind of out of the picture.
Okay.
So it's between Venori and Pink Patchouli by SP Parfums. I did wear the Pink Patchouli the once.
Yeah, I liked it when you wore it.
Yeah, you did like it, yeah.
Pink Patchouli is pretty good by SP Parfums. I love a couple of theirs, including Powder and Dust, Suntan Glam, and my favourite, Lignum Vitae Forte and Old School Fougere. Sorry.
What's your favourite though? You might actually prefer the Pink Patchouli.
Pink Patchouli or...
Earthy and peppery, I think it's pink.
It's really close. They're both. What's Venori then?
Venori is Frangipani.
And this is Sylvain Delacourte.
And its the main note is vanilla. It smells like holidays.
Okay.
I'll let you choose.
I think as we've already had one from SP Parfums, I think Venori is the more easy to like, obviously lovely and really delicate mixture. To me, a bit of citrus and a bit of vanilla.
Yeah.
Would be very basic, but I did find really exquisite.
Yeah.
Sylvain Delacourte.
So that's it. That's our three.
Yes.
We've got Venori by Sylvain Delacourte. We've got Guerlain's Le Plus Beau Jour de ma Vie, and we've got SP Parfums Powder and Dust.
And the interesting point that I want to make now is that you can see that we're not picking obvious, typical summer holiday top 10 summer scents fragrances at all. Lots of sweetness, and even in my choices, there's been some freshness, but it's not like I just wore Virgin Island Water by Creed and Acqua di Parma, the whole. We've worn some heavier stuff, especially at night time, but all the time. Even Mukalat by the pool in 30 degrees centigrade weather. It can work, so it just goes. This is the reality rather than a top 10 list where it's a bit contrived. This is really what we wore on holiday, and you'll see it doesn't conform to my own top 10 lists of summer or spring. Whoops! So they're all completely fake. No, they're not fake, but these don't have necessarily a summer theme. So seasonality of fragrances isn't as big of a thing in real life as it is on YouTube.
Exactly.
Where people are like, what occasions would you wear that for? Yeah. Dressed up or dressed down? Age group 25 to 29. Okay, so of my ones, I think we both agree Dolce & Gabbana Pour Homme is really nice.
I recently put that in a video saying it's one of the fragrances I wish you'd wear more often.
Yes, you did.
And it smelled really good. You've worn it a few times during the day. Did you wear it at night time?
Not yet. No, once at night last night.
Oh, yeah.
So it has that citrus freshness, but it's also got tobacco leaf and sort of, you said cardamom.
It smells like it's got cardamom into me.
There's sort of a lot of herbaceous, what I think they're called aromatics, aren't they?
So it smells very smooth.
Yeah. It's got quite a bit of, for a designer fragrance, maybe things were better in the old days than the 90s. It's got complexity, hasn't it, and class, and some woods, some herbaceousness, sort of breezy summer air. You spray this on your shirt an hour to go as the sun's beginning to go down. It's clean, but it's got a certain romanticism about it. It's really, really beautiful, and most people agree you've got to try and get the old one with the sticker, but there's a lot of them about on eBay.
The only downside of that is the performance isn't great.
No.
And I think you do have to respray every few hours really to get people to notice it.
I agree. A lot of reviewers say the old stuff is really strong, but it's just so for us. And I've worn it a lot, haven't I? I've got 3 bottles, and this is the only one that's got a massive dent, but for me that's quite a lot to get through. And we both spray it quite a bit, and it never performs strongly.
No, it's not brilliant, but it does smell really good. So
yeah, it's not terrible performance, but don't think it's beast mode.
It's not going to last you a full working day.
No.
It's one to carry an atomizer for, but it smells good. It's worth.
It's one of the most lovely designer smells out there for the last 30-40 years. So this is quite contentious. Okay, we know which one's definitely in. So of the ones that we know, that's going to be one of them.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the top one. But of what's left, Fico d'Amalfi, you're not. We need to say what you don't like. Fico d'Amalfi.
Tell me what I don't like or what I don't like anymore.
Acqua di Parma, Fico d'Amalfi, you're not that bothered.
I'm not that keen anymore. It's not that I don't find it it's not that I find it unappealing. It's just I'm not a fan of the note of fig. It smells a little bit peachy to me, and I don't get on with peachy things. I'd never buy a fragrance with peach in it. Okay. And that smells peachy. Okay. And figs, there's something about them that's ever so slightly nauseating.
Nauseating, yeah.
Not exactly like I'm not actually going to throw up, but it just slightly pisses off my nostrils.
Come back to that subject.
Oh yeah, we will. Yeah.
If you're interested in the subject of vomiting, there's going to be a story, and it wasn't any kind of late night debauchery by either of us. It was innocent. So stay tuned for fans of that. Okay, so Claire doesn't like that one. I think it's excellent. I love it. So we don't agree.
I can't argue with that, but it doesn't
do it for you. I think it's a really brilliant summer holiday fragrance, but it doesn't excite Claire as much as it does me. Presumably, New York Intense, not
my favourite. I don't dislike it, but it's very much that school of fragrances that you really, really like. The Bois de Portugal is the very green and foresty kind of things.
It's a little bit similar to Guerlain's Heritage. It's got a lot of lavender.
Maybe too much patchouli
quite
for my
a
taste.
Heavy dose of patchouli, which always takes me back to the 70s and my dad's Givenchy Gentleman, the original patchouli bomb, which you do not like at all. It has an old school vibe. It's very classy. If you like powdery stuff,
I can appreciate the quality of it, and it has a real good development. It does change on the skin, but it's just
performs really well as well.
And it's a bit too green for
okay,
my
so
taste,
Claire does not like it. It's one of my top 3 ever, but that's reality. Cedrat Boise, again, I always love it. You are now going off it a bit.
I've gone off it. So
why could you? How can anyone?
Green. It's very loud. It's extremely loud.
Yes, it is quite. Yeah. It performs really well.
I can see the comparison
That's a good thing.
to Aventus, but I do actually prefer Aventus now. Aventus it's got a lighter touch to it. I think it's a bit like that Patricia de Nicolai one. Maybe it's just too green. Is there a dose of patchouli in there as well? Or?
I can't remember if it's listed in the notes.
It's just heavy and it's a bit thick. I don't see it that fresh. Like people say this is a fresh one. This is one you wear in the summer. I'd say it's quite heavy and strong, and it doesn't lend itself so much.
You get more of the sweetness and the sort of fruity sweetness.
No, I don't know. It's very
synthetic.
Heavy. I'm not sure I'd call it synthetic, but it's just very heavy. It's in your face. It's unapologetic, and I don't think I really appreciate that kind of fragrance anymore.
Fair enough. It is from the same stable because Montal and Mancera are linked, so could there be a sort of, they're both a bit annoying to you?
Yeah.
They are known for being loud, so maybe too loud for you.
So what's left?
Interesting, yeah. 1725 Histoire de Parfum. I haven't actually worn that yet on the holiday, although I did wear it when we had to stay in an Airbnb in the UK the night before we went on holiday. Does that count?
What are you wearing tonight?
Don't know yet. You're going to decide that.
Maybe you should wear that right now.
Okay.
And then we can see how it goes.
Do you want me to wear? Okay.
I think you need to commit to this.
Well, what's the top 3 then?
All right.
Boy by Chanel. Good Fougere. I don't think you liked it.
No, I didn't dislike it, and the performance was really good. I don't know. I think I prefer 1725, even though you've not worn it yet.
The favourite one for you is
Spice and Woods, without any shadow of a doubt. I even wore it myself one night, and quite a few
Creed,
days.
Spice and Wood.
I've stolen a little spray on my wrist to go up.
You love it. You wear it as much as I do.
And it even lasts.
Now we know why you bought me the bottle.
Yeah, I know, selfish. Even lasts through the odd swim and that.
Yeah.
Not as well as Muckalot, but as better. Sorry, not as well as Muckalot, but almost as well as Muckalot. Does that last through sunbathing and swimming?
So Creed Spice and Wood has jumped up to be one of your real favourites. It has some, I think, bergamot, definitely apple, cinnamon, and a lot of woodsy notes. Surprisingly spicy.
Mostly the woods, a lot of vetiver.
We think vetiver, although it's not officially.
Very dry pencil sharpenings or wood shavings kind of vetiver, not an earthy, dirty vetiver. Lots of wood. It's a bit peppery. It's like, it smells like they might have pink pepper or some kind of peppery notes. Cinnamon. Oh, it's gorgeous. I love it. So
Spice and Wood has become a real favourite for us, and we're going to go with 1725 Histoire de Parfums, which I'll make it my scent of the night then, will I? Gunshot sounds disabled for safety reasons. I only use them on my own because I'm highly trained. But in this circumstance,
very safety conscious.
Also abroad, like they won't let me use the machine
that
makes
the boats out behind us.
So 1725 Histoire de Parfums, and it's got sort of licorice, almond, lavender, some vanilla, some citrus, bergamot and citron in the openings, and a little bit of a barbershop feel, but sweet. It's sort of, to me, a bit like an La Mal-esque thing.
Is it a little bit like the Lolita Lempicka one?
Yes, Lolita Lempicka masculine, if you like that one. Eau de Minuit or the original, both of which have a similar vibe. But if you want a sort of niche version,
I'm getting a lot of licorice from you.
There's 20 sprays of that. Is a good idea. So, so top three for me then: 1725 Histoire de Parfum, Dolce and Gabbana Pour Homme, and Creed Spice and Wood, which I'm so lucky, thanks to the lovely Claire, to have a full bottle of. And we're moving in together when I get back. Getting back from this holiday is moving in full time with you. So prepare for probably the meltdown of our relationship over the next few. For the third time over the next few episodes. On a more personal note, Claire had her birthday just yesterday, and happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Your presents are at home because it's hard to transport liquids overseas, so most of your presents are all waiting for you at home. So I've got some hopefully slight surprises for Claire.
Lovely.
And I've got something to live up to, as she got me the Spice and Wood. I need to have done quite well there, don't I? And we had a good day on your birthday, but we went on a trip. We decided to go on the tour to see dolphins on a boat, which sounds like such a lovely...
What a lovely idea. On your birthday, to go out on a nice, gentle boat ride to play
There are
with
real dolphins out there because it's the Atlantic Ocean.
Yes.
So we bought our tickets, and it was €50 for both of us, which isn't horrendous for you're going out to see us. Fair enough. To cut a long story, on the good side, we saw dolphins.
We did.
And how was that?
Dolphins were great. So that when we finally found them, it took the boatmen a while to find the dolphins.
Yeah.
But when we finally found them, they were awesome. They were all like jumping and like swimming around. It was really great. We only stopped for about 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, and they are wild. This is in the sea. It's not an aquarium. Yeah.
So
obviously.
And then when we took off again.
Yeah, this was the best bit.
The dolphins followed the boat, and we're beside the boat. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, all of them jumped, showing off, which was incredible. It was lovely. And they stayed with us quite a while, didn't they?
They were
really nice.
That was incredible. Yeah. And that was the real dolphins, not in an aquarium, not trained. They were wild, and they just. Who knows? There's different theories why they do it.
Well,
do they think?
Said they're all smiling. They were all smiling, so they definitely were doing it for fun.
Yeah, I don't think dolphins have a choice about their facial expression.
Oh,
yeah.
That's sweet as the same, but in the opposite.
Yeah, you're like your cat. You're going the other way. Yeah. Good comparison. But the problem with the boat trip was that if you are, let's say, the sea conditions were a bit choppy.
Very choppy.
So if you suffer from seasickness, or even if you
If you don't, I don't think I suffer from seasickness.
You might well do now, because out of about 60 passengers, a good 12 or 15
at least
were seasick heavily, and the crew gave out plastic bags. It was clearly a normal thing on the trip. what would you? I mean, I thought that that's not worth it. I mean, it was great to see dolphins, but I don't know that they should be charging money for a trip that's going to make 30% of the passengers violently ill.
There was no pre-warning about it.
No, there was no pre-warning in any of the onshore publicity.
So we had no clue. We didn't look it up on TripAdvisor. We just went for it. And if I'd have known how ill I was going to be,
the boat was. I mean, it was.
It was like the boat was going.
It was a small-ish boat, medium.
It felt like it could tip up completely over at points. And I just, as the boat went on and further out to sea, I just got more and more feeling sick, hoping I'm not going to be sick. Eventually said to Dan, you're going to have to go and get me a plastic bag because I might need it as a precaution. By the time we found the dolphins, I had my head between my knees and I was emptying the bottom of my stomach out. Thank
we won't
God
go into detail.
I only had toast for breakfast.
Yeah, if you're going on this trip, I would skip breakfast. Definitely don't have
and
a fryer.
even when we'd stopped and the dolphins were there, I still had to be sick, and that was such a shame.
And you know, this wasn't because we'd been out on the lash the night before.
Well, we obviously had a little bit.
Well, we had, but that wasn't the issue.
No.
And there were one lady was pretty much curled up on the floor, so it was really serious, you know, seasickness inducing stuff. So just watch out wherever you are. Some of these things on boat trips sound like a great idea, but
you're all right if you're staying fairly close to land and just going to explore the coastline. But I think because we had to go so far out to sea,
went out to the point where you could no longer see land.
And when you go out that far, it's going to get more choppy and
so the bath boat was not a highlight of the holiday, although
bath day.
It was happy bath day to you, but you recovered quickly as soon as you were back. That's the good thing about seasickness. So that was fun. Luckily I even felt a bit queasy, but for whatever reason I didn't seem to suffer, but you know, it was just random. It either affected you or it didn't. So a great memory in a way, because it was a laugh, we can look back now, and we did see a great wildlife thing.
Dolphins are fantastic.
I would have rather watched it on YouTube than not had to see you and numerous other people reproducing their breakfast. On that note, thanks for joining us. We do recommend this place, and we're staying, not sponsored, we're working on it, but we're not. It's called Grand Marina. No, hang on. It's called
Marina Bay View Apartments. Marina Bay View Apartments.
Yeah, in Gran Canaria, Puerto Rico, and it is really good, and we found it to be really good value.
The pool is, I think, what makes it.
Yeah, the pool is amazing. I'll see if I can just do that. You talk.
Yeah, the pool is heated to the exact perfect amount.
Yeah.
You can just about catch the edge of the pool.
Yeah, we get a bit of it in there.
Yeah, the pool is heated so that when you get in, you still get a bit of freshness.
Sorry.
It's not too cold that you avoid getting in properly.
Yes.
It's just that perfect level of freshness. And the hotel's really clean, and the staff are lovely. They've got a great shop. We can get all of our needs.
Yeah.
They do beer and they do Diet Coke and stuff. So we're really enjoying it.
It's been really good, so we recommend it. Okay, that's about it. 27 minutes. Did it again. Lovely to join you, or you joining us.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing.
Oh yeah.
To both our channels.
Yes, which I'll put the link to Claire's in the description below. We're back next time, back in Blighty with a normal video.
After you've moved in.
Yes, after I've moved in, and fingers crossed. Oh, the light came on. Fingers crossed it all goes well. Poor Claire.
Wish me luck.
She's in for a shock. See you next time, and remember, whatever you're doing in life,
let's project.
Bye bye.